Most people don't quit because they're actually done. They quit because their brain successfully convinced them that they are done. And this is not just some motivational quote you see on Instagram. There's a study where researchers made people do a mentally exhausting task before cycling until exhaustion. The interesting part is the mentally tired group quit earlier, but not because their body suddenly becomes much weaker. The same exercise simply felt harder. That means sometimes the limit is not in the muscle, it's in the interpretation. The brain looks at discomfort, stress, boredom, pain, pressure, and says, okay, this is too much, let's stop. And because that voice comes from inside our own head, we treat it like a truth. But what if the first I'm done not actually the end, it's the beginning? David Goggins called this the 40% rules. The idea is simple. When the mind says you're finished, you may still have a lot more left in the tank. Now, I don't think we should treat 40% like an exact scientific number. It's not like the body has a secret battery meter, but as a mental model, it's powerful because it reminds us that the first wall is often not a wall. It's just the first negotiation. It's where the mental strength comes in. Not when life is easy, not when everything feels good, not when the schedule is perfect, the mood is right, and the motivation is high. Mental strength is built in the exact moment when something becomes uncomfortable. And instead of immediately escaping it, we stay there a little longer. Most people never train this. They avoid discomfort their whole life, then wonder why the smallest pressure feels heavy. They chase shortcuts, quick dopamine, easy validation, easy routines, but the mind is like a muscle. If it never carries weight, it stays weak. This is why comfort is dangerous. Comfort feels safe, but too much comfort makes us fragile. At first, it looks like a self-care. Later, it becomes avoidance. Then one day, life hits and we realize we have no tolerance for pain, no patience for struggle, and no confidence under pressure. I think the better question is not how do I become unbreakable? The better question is what am I training to tolerate every single day? Because whether we realize it or not, we are always training. When we complain, we train helplessness. When we make excuse, we train avoidance. When we quit every time something feels hard, the brain to treat discomfort as danger. But when we do one more rep, one more paragraph, one more honest conversation, one more attempt after rejection, we train something else. We train proof. And proof is more powerful than just a motivation. There's a famous story about this guy, JC, meeting with David Goggins at a 100-mile race in San Diego. He saw Goggins, big guy, not built like a typical ultra runner, no fancy setup, no big crew, just a folding chair, some water and crackers. And he was not running the race as a part of a team. He was doing the whole thing alone. At around mile 70, his body was destroyed. He had serious damage. His feet were wrecked, and everything about the situation said he should stop, but he finished. And Jesse become obsessed with one question: what kind of mind allows someone to keep going when every normal signal says stop? So he invited Goggins to live with him for a month. And on the first day, Goggins asked him how many pull-ups you can do. Jesse did around 8. Then Goggins told him to rest 30 seconds and do it again. Jesse got 6. Rest again, one more set. Now he barely got 3 or 4. His arms were gone. At least that's what he thought. Then Goggins said, we're not leaving until you do 100 more. That sounds impossible. If someone can barely do 3 pull-ups, how are they supposed to do 100 more? But that was the lesson.
And I got like maybe 8 pull-ups. And then he said, all right, wait 30 seconds, go and do it again. And I went up on the pull-up bar and I did maybe like 3 or 4. He said, all right, wait 30 seconds, I want you to do it again. And I dropped down, I was all jacked up, and I said, what's next? He said, well, what's next is we're not leaving here until you do 100 more. We're not leaving the gym until you do 100 more. That day. Now.
He did not do the 100 pull-ups like an athlete. He did one, then rested, then one more, then another ugly rep, then another, slowly, painfully, embarrassingly, but still moving. But eventually, he did it. He finished it. That moment revealed something most people never see. The brain says done way before the body has explored all the options. And this applies outside fitness too. When someone wants to build a business, the first rejection feels like a sign to stop. When someone starts creating content, the first bad video feels like a proof they're not talented. When someone tries to change their life, the first boring week feels like a failure. But maybe it's not failure. Maybe it's just the first wall. And the first wall is where 99% of you live. This is why mental strength is not built by thinking positive. It's built by repeatedly proving to the brain that discomfort is not an emergency. That does not mean we should be reckless. Pain can be signal, injury is real, burnout is real. There's a difference between you being disciplined and you being stupid. But most of the time, our problem is not that we push too hard. Most of the time, we quit too early. Quit when the work becomes boring. We quit when progress becomes invisible. We quit when the assignment disappears and all that's left is repetition. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation is easy when the idea is new. Everyone is motivated on day one. New gym membership, new business idea, new journal, new plan, new identity. But after 2 weeks, the emotional high disappears, then the real question appears. Can you still show up when the feeling is gone? Because successful people are not motivated every day. They just stop letting mood become the boss. If the goal is the fitness, they stop letting mood become the boss. If you want to acquire mental strength, the system is simple. Do something hard every day, not to punish yourself, but to remind to your brain that you are not fragile. It can be exercise, it can be waking up earlier, it can be finishing the thing that you kept delaying, it can be staying calm when someone triggers you. It can be having conversation that you've been avoiding. The point is not the activity, the point is the evidence. Every time you do what you said you will do, especially when it feels inconvenient, you build self-trust, and self-trust is the foundation of mental strength. Without it, every challenge feels like a threat. With it, pressure becomes something different. It becomes training. So the next time the mind says I'm done, don't immediately obey it. Pause. Ask, am I actually done, or is this just uncomfortable? Is it actually just only the first wall? Then make the task smaller, not forever, not recklessly, just one more honest unit. One more rep, 5 more minutes, one more attempt, one more calm response. Because mental strength is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in tiny moments where the old version of you would have stopped but the new version stays. That is the 40% rules. Please don't get me wrong. This video is not about you should destroy yourself, but you should stop believing the first time the brain starts negotiating with you. Because sometimes the life that you've been waiting for your whole life is hiding behind discomfort that you've been avoiding. Stay classy.